Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to Baldeykino. Alright, so today we finished, well, I should say last episode we finished harvesting up this field right here, and now our pH is starting to dip just a little bit. It's at 6.0, which is kind of low. So I'm going to go ahead and put down a little bit of lime here. So I have the case right here with the lime spreader ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And if memory serves, I believe, this is the case 380, yes, okay, perfect. So we'll see if we have enough lime. I'm not exactly sure if we have enough, but we're going to find out. We don't need to spread lime too often with the soil mod, but you do need to do it from time to time. I'm going to do... how should I do this? I guess we'll do a headland after. Doesn't really make a difference here. So you do need to cultivate in the lime, if memory serves. It's funny, it's one of those few activities that you don't do very often, so I often have to think about, okay, do you need to cultivate this in? I can't remember. There we go. And let's close that. Perfect. There you go. As you can see, it shows you the texture of the lime, which is kind of neat. Gives you like a little bit of a white texture, which is what lime looks like in real life if you've ever seen it being spread before. It's pretty crazy, actually. So we should be able to get the whole field done here. We're going to check the other field to see if it needs to be done as well. I don't think it does, but it's entirely possible that it may need to be done. I'm not certain yet. And if we have time, we may sell a load of canola, and then after that we may fire up the BGA. Just depends. There we go. Let's make this turn here. So one of the nice things about spreading lime, at least for example, is it doesn't take very much time at all, because of the spreading width of this thing. You can actually get wider ones than this one. This one's only 26 meters wide, or 25.7 is what it has in the GPS. But you can actually get wider ones. Back in 2013, the spreader used to be. It used to be, I think it was 40 meters, so it was a bit weird when they dropped it down to 26. I don't know why they did it that way, but they definitely did for whatever reason, so. This is actually it's a bit slower. It's a bit slower than spraying. I think they do have, there is such a thing as liquid spraying lime, but in this game, I don't know. I'm not sure. I know it exists in real life, but I don't think it's a common thing to do. I think it's pretty expensive to do in real life, so you often don't see people doing it very often. So that's one of the things. That's one of the interesting things about lime. But it's kind of weird to see. I think there's a mod on Mod Hoster that has a pretty good diffuse plane. So like when it spreads the lime, it makes like all the dust and everything. It looks very realistic. Because that's exactly what lime spreading looks like. It's like all over the place. It's pretty dusty work, but it needs to be done if you want to have the if you want to keep your pH levels up. Basically, you can't really get around it too much. But same thing goes for in-game. Basically, I guess I could have just kept the sprayer going and then made the turn. Oh well. I feel like we're gonna overlap a little bit too much now because of that. Whatever, we'll get over it. So, like I said, we'll need to actually cultivate this lime in for it to take its full effect. You can just spread it and it will take effect, I think, but it won't be as much as if it were actually cultivated in. And the moisture level is at 0%, so I'll need to spray some water apparently too. It's crazy. Soil moisture has really been affected. I don't know why it has been affected so much, but it really seems to be seems to have gotten affected. It must have been because we had the weather that we had the last couple of days in game must have really affected it. Yeah, 25, 14, 13. Well, maybe the next few days won't be so bad. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe. Did that say Mr. Fox? It did. Yeah. Agrostar. That's interesting. I never even noticed that showed that there. I don't open up the weather very often, but it does play a factor in when you're playing with soil mod. You have to be careful of what the weather is like, because if it's a hot day, it'll take up more of the moisture in the soil. Alright, there we go. Make the turn. Yeah, but it's kind of interesting to see how the soil mod all plays together. Like, some people have never played with soil mod, and I encourage you to give it a go. It's, you know, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You don't like it, and you can just take the mod out of your folder, but at least give it a go and see some of the aspects that are involved in using the soil mod, because it is kind of a more realistic approach when it comes to farm sim, I guess, because this is the way it would be more in real life. You have to manage your pH and your nutrients and all that jazz. A lot of people spread phosphorus and stuff like that as well, so sulfur sometimes. It really depends on you know, what the person's needs are, I guess. Alright, now we're just gonna do a headland here. Do it at the end. It really depends on the people's what people's needs are, basically. So sometimes it's necessary, so other times it's not. So did I skip that? It looked like I skipped that whole pass. I know I'm missing some, but that's fine. I'll live with it. One of those tasks that takes a little bit of time, but it's not too much time. So as soon as you start getting more and more fields, like stuff like this becomes, like, you know, more in depth. You have to kind of keep track of it a bit better. Like, I always have to ask myself, I'm like, okay, did I spread lime or not? So it's nice that they actually have textures, so you can actually kind of get close and look at whether you've sprayed it or not. So for example, like if I stop and just come down here, you can actually see that there's that lime texture there, which is really helpful actually. So you can go back and check to see whether you've done something or not. The same thing happens when you spread NPK and PK, and you can see, I think it's like blue, I want to say. I think it's blue and what's the other one? Blue and red, I think is the other one. Alright, just gonna get this little area right here, because apparently this is what we missed as well. Always helps to get as much as you can, and it's okay to go over the edge a little bit of the field, because what happens is if you go over the edge just a little bit, like I'm doing right now, what will happen is the edge will get a little bit of lime increase, and because that actually does factor into your yield a little bit, and that's primarily because the way soil mod operates is it takes like a zone. Let's see if I can bring it up here. No, maybe it's the other one. I think it's this then. Yeah, so there you go. So it shows you a zone. So this gives you an idea of, like, that's what it looks at. So if you see, like, it shows you the slight acidity. So it shows that the soil that I'm on right now is a bit more acidic because it's yellow. And then as I move forward, like on the grass right now, the soil's still fine. It's in the green level. So that's how that kind of works. So you have to kind of take that consideration. So if you're harvesting right where I am right now, it will actually take into consideration a little bit of the other spot over there. So, and then there's the soil moisture, and you can see that it's really bad here. Nutrients, and this is the PK, and then that's back to normal. So just to give you an idea, like it really varies a lot on the different fields. So you have to kind of keep track of it a bit better. And I believe different crops take different amounts of lime and fertilizer and all that jazz too, and PK and then PK basically. So you need to take those things into consideration. There we go. Make that turn, and that's that. Perfect. Well, as you can see, we only used about 50%, which is good for us. Excellent. Let's go check the other field while we're kind of over here. We'll just take this little pass right over here and double check. So what we'll definitely need to do is we'll definitely need to spray a little bit of moisture on that field, because if we don't, we're going to get just a horrendous yield. And we want to turn left. Try and miss the people. This is the turn we want right here. There we go. And let's check the lime levels on this field too. I think this one's okay. Yeah, this one's better than the other one. I think I'll leave that for the time being, because that one is fine for now. And then we'll have to come back. So the nutrients are still a little low, but not too crazy. Good. Alright, so I don't know why that that little bump is so big. Because it's like, you don't realize how big it is until you actually hit it, and you're like, whoa! And then you're kind of on the you're like kind of thinking about, okay, that was a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. And like, what happened there? Like, what's going on here? All right, so let's grab this and put it back. Oops, go a bit further. Thought we straightened it out enough, but apparently not. That's too much, Iain. Just take it nice and slow. That's the way to do it. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so let's grab the cultivator over here, which is the Vaderstadt cultivator. Oops. So the other thing you need to take into consideration is, because we're actually plowing, it's actually going to reduce the moisture even more. So I probably should do this first and then put the moisture on after. Because if I do it now, it's not going to make it, it's not going to take into effect at all, basically. So, alright. Let's just wait for a second for that gate to open and then we'll go. Yeah, it's really strange the way it works. Sometimes people ask me questions about the soil mod, whether or not you could do like two things at the same time. Like if you could do like spread moisture, spread lime, and then put water on top of it. I think you can technically, but I don't know if they both get factored in with the soil mod. I'm not certain about that. So that's fine by me. All right. I wonder how much canola we ended up with in the end. Not much. 35,000 liters. It's not that much from that small field. I guess it's a small field too, so I have to think I have to remember that too. Alright, so let's get set up here. I guess it really doesn't matter where we start. So if you look, it has a slight acidity, so 6. Let's go ahead and open this up. I guess we'll just start from the one side. We'll wait till it actually opens up here first. Because if you don't wait, you'll actually run into problems. Let's see. Did they give you any other soil mod tips on this little reference sheet? It doesn't seem to. I thought it would, but doesn't appear to. No. Just curious if it said anything about. Oh, apparently we're cultivating already. It's not what I intended to do. Can you lift it up? Oh, you can. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was going to work that way or not. So I guess technically, watch. If we go back here, this should automatically get... so we're 6 over here, and this little section I just cultivated right there should be up. Yeah, 6.7. So just to give you an idea how it works. And it won't take effect until you actually... there we go. We'll just go north-south. That seems to be a good way to do it. And not hit things. There we go. And let's bring this up and close. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It, for whatever reason, it keeps wanting to. It keeps wanting to put an offset on it, and I have no idea why it wants to put an offset still. So we'll just follow the contour of the field here. But luckily, this tractor can pull this pretty quickly. It's funny. This particular cultivator is from the Vaderstadt soil mod pack, and you can actually hook things up to the back of it, which I've mentioned before. But it actually needs a pretty high level of horsepower. Actually, I think you need like, I want to say it's somewhere in the neck of the woods of like 300-ish. I think is what it is. So it needs a lot higher than you would expect. Alright, make these turns. Very good. I guess we're going to do a headland first, by the looks of it. That's fine. I think in reality you'd probably do this last. And I think I guess it really doesn't matter which way you do it as long as it all gets done. There we go. We'll just go up down the center now. There we go. But I do like the textures on this map. So as you can see, slight acidity. And then if I hop behind the cultivator, I should see the pH up. So it's at 6.6, 6.8, neutral. And we want it at 6.7, I believe, or 6.6, somewhere in that area. And that is the ideal level for pH. Well, I can show you. I have the reference sheet right up here. So pH level 6.8. 6.8 is 100% yield. Anything above or below, and the yield gets affected by it in a negative way too. There we go. Very nice. Yeah, it's really strange. It's like the pH really affects your yield a lot. Like if out of all the things of the soil mod, the pH is what really affects your yield. Like if you don't keep an eye on your pH, you will run into trouble, that's for sure. There we go. Let's get that. It's a nice pack though. So what you can do is if you look at the back here, there's like the little attachment. You can actually attach the sprayers on the back, I believe. So like if you go into your mods, if you have this mod, and then you go into, where is it, sprayers? I think it's fertilizer sprayers. You can put these on there, which take MPK, and I think there's a sprayer function as well for these. Oh no, it's not these. No, that must have been the ones I was thinking of. Never mind. So you can put those down. I thought it had a sprayer function too, but it doesn't. C'est la vie, I suppose. I do like this combination. I don't know why. I think it's the red tractor with the red Vader stat. It looks really good together. It looks very slick. If you like red, that is. Not everybody likes red, of course. Some people are a bit more into green. Like I'm more of a green person. Just because I like the color green. Alright. Lift it up. Make the turn. So, because I like green a bit more, I'm a bit partial to John Deere, Claas, Krone, just because I like the color green though. Excellent. Alright folks, I think what I'll do is I will end the episode there. I'll be doing this for the whole episode, and I think people have seen cultivating more than enough. And now they see the reaction of the soil that you're going to get, 6.5, 6.8. Pretty good. Anyways, folks, that'll be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Baldeykino, and if you did, want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Baldeykino. My name's Iain Robson. I'll catch you guys later.